We're in the parking lot at Costco because we're about to go kind of Christmas shopping. We're in December now, so we are back home in California. We got back maybe like a week ago. Almost a week ago, exactly
a week.
Today. Yeah, or yesterday. Exactly about a week ago. So the first few days we were just kind of getting back into the swing of things, getting over our jet lag. It wasn't too bad, but I feel like around like 6, 7 p.m. we were getting really tired because it's probably like 4 or 5 in the morning in Europe or in like London where we last were. And then we keep waking up really early, but that's kind of a good thing. We've been waking up at like 6:45 a.m. the last like week. So that's good. And then I got kind of sick. I feel fine, but I have like nasal congestion and I had a sore throat for like the first day, but still trying to get over that. And then
just starting to get car sick too.
Yeah, I used to get car sick when I was little. Throws up. When it used to be pretty bad when I was little, but that like went away and I've been completely fine for like the last 10 years. Okay, maybe not 10. Yeah, maybe 10 years. And then I think it's probably because we haven't been in a car consistently for the last 5 months, that I feel like now, like I just don't feel like, I don't know. Like I feel like I've been reading in the car for like, you know how you get a little dizzy and stuff? So that's how I feel. But I think maybe being in the car more often now will help. But I think I felt it like when we were in Madrid in October, we took our Uber to the airport and like I kind of felt it then and I was like, that's weird. I didn't know if it was like just that one day, but definitely have been feeling that. So yeah, we're just kind of getting back into the swing of things, but it's literally like December, so we have to go Christmas shopping, have to do a lot of things. So we're at Costco. Hopefully they let us in because I don't have my membership card with me. I'm going to see if maybe they'll take one. I don't know. We'll figure it out, but hopefully we get in. Made it. Just left Costco. Our first drive-through in over 5 months. That's crazy. I guess it's convenient and nice. But honestly, I didn't really miss drive-thrus.
I did.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, the Mexican pizza's back.
Hi, how are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
Got our bag. Hopefully they didn't forget anything because that's kind of common with Taco Bell. The food smells so good. We're pretty hungry. The food tastes so good. The food smells so good. We are really hungry. We almost caved and bought like Costco food court food, like maybe some pizza. But then we were like, no, we're gonna have to go to Taco Bell. Like that was our plan. So we got our food. It smells really good. We're gonna find a place to park and then we'll dive into the food, but also kind of do like a little Q&A about our whole experience.
Dude, I'm so excited. We haven't had Taco Bell since Madrid, but it wasn't that great. It was missing something in there. It was like either a sauce or like a cheesy or whatever seasoning they use in America. They also had a Taco Bell in London, but we didn't get a chance to try that, so
yeah, I wanted to go there. I got a cheese quesadilla, no meat, just cheese. I think this is mine too. It's a spicy soft potato taco. These are bomb and they're only $1. The only thing inflation hasn't ruined.
Yeah, for real, it was kind of pricey.
Yeah, it was $20. Usually I feel like it's 17. I don't know why.
I got 2 items. I got a Crunchwrap Supreme and a steak chalupa.
And then I got nachos Bel Grande, no meat, so it just has like beans, cheese, sour cream, and tomatoes.
Wow.
We're starving, so we're gonna jump right in.
I even have kind of like a little headache from how hungry I am.
Yeah, what time is it? 3? I know I don't have my watch either. 2:47, almost 3.
Wow, look at that beauty.
Should I put this here and we can put it with sauce?
Yeah.
All right, so like we said, we're gonna do a Q&A because
we're back in America.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. We were literally traveling for 5 months, starting in Mexico City. Then we went to Belgium. Then we went to Italy. Then we went to Spain. Then we went to England. And then we're back in the U.S. I feel like the past like 5 months have been almost a little bit blurry.
Yeah, it almost feels like a blur.
Yeah.
Just because like coming back to the States, everything's so normal, our family, routine.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like, did that really happen?
Yeah, it's literally like that feeling of like, wait, like if I just back up a week, I was somewhere else and like doing other things.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy. But at least what I'm really happy about is that we have all the vlogs and all the videos as like footage of our whole trip. So it's always so nice to go back. I feel like every time we like look through our YouTube channel, like every once in a while, maybe every couple of months or something, we're going through it. What?
First bite. I was trying to say sorry.
And we see like our old travel videos and we watch them and we're like, oh my God, I totally forgot about this thing that we did, this food that we tried. So it's going to be so amazing in like a year's time or so when we look back at this little section of our life. How was it?
Good.
I'm going to do first bite too.
Taco Bell always slaps. Unless you're in Madrid.
Their cheese sauce tastes really good.
Yeah. That was also something in Madrid. They have like weird cheese sauces. Okay, should we jump into the questions? So I asked on Instagram. Yeah, I asked on Instagram to get some questions. And y'all came through. So, question number 1. What was your favorite country? I think we've both... Oh my gosh, I feel like this is going to fall.
Maybe put it over there. I don't think I'll dip. I think I'd rather just...
I feel like we've both said this, and the answer, it's not clear, because for me at least, I like different countries for different reasons. One of them, I love the food. The other one, the architecture. Like, you know, there were some that like stood out, but like, I don't know, it's not like my favorite. I don't know. I don't want to just say Mexico, but let me think. Oh.
My answer is, we didn't visit like the whole country. We only visited those specific cities, so it'd be more, what was your favorite city? Because I can't put all of Spain.
But that's not the question.
All of Spain based on Madrid's experience. I can't put all of England based on London's experience. You know, that makes no sense. So I'm going to turn that question into what was your favorite city.
Okay.
That's more accurate, I feel like. I think my favorite city is probably Mexico City. Just because I feel like when... I don't know. I look at it in a point of like, what city do I want to go back to and go there for another weekend? And I think Mexico City is at the top of my list, specifically because we live in California and it's super close. It's like a 3.5-hour flight. It's super affordable, super cheap. You get the Europe vibes because of the old buildings. It's a super historic city. And I feel like, yeah, number one is super cheap, super affordable. Like the ticket to go to Mexico is probably less than half than a ticket to Europe. The food in general is a lot cheaper. It's amazing. It's Mexican food, so you know you're gonna get good food at basically any spot you go. And there's also food from other places. It's not just Mexican food, you know? So I think that's my favorite one.
I want to say Mexico too, but I'm not gonna just because he said it. So I'm gonna go with the Netherlands. That was a place we had both never been to before, and honestly surprised me. The food was really, really good. We had some of like our favorite dishes. Amazing apple pie. And yeah, I just really, really liked it. The canals, the like things to do. I thought it was a really pretty city. So I'm gonna go with Amsterdam, Netherlands. Next question. Okay, next question is, how were the people / were people rude?
I feel like not really. I didn't really pay attention or notice anything really different from country to country, other than obviously the language when you go to a restaurant or as you hear people as you're walking along. But I feel like in general, everybody was pretty nice. I think that I remember stood out like, oh my God, people here are like a little bit extra. The only thing that I remember is when we were in Madrid, we did notice that a lot of people walked super slow in the streets. So that kind of got like on our nerves a little bit. But other than that, I feel like pretty good experiences, unless you remember something that I missed.
What comes to mind for me, it's not that the people were rude. It might just be like the cultural difference. I feel like in Italy, like when we would go out to eat and stuff, like, I don't know, I just felt like the waiters weren't really happy that we were there, or like happy to serve us and stuff. I don't know. Not in a bad way either, but just compared to everywhere else we went, where some waiters were like overly nice, super sweet, like I just kind of felt like they weren't very nice. That could also just be because they're not paid to be nice to us, like they're just paid to serve the food and that's it, you know? Like they're not working for tips, so I get it. But I guess that would stand out.
Question 3.
Oh, how much did it cost?
5 months, 5-month-long Airbnbs, maybe another 4 or 5 weekend Airbnbs, flights, food, Ubers, travel, and stuff like that.
Drum roll.
The big number. This is how much. So it was about $9,000 each in total.
In 5 months. Which, in my opinion, is not a crazy amount for 5 months, including accommodation, transportation, flights from California to our first place was like London, our big far flight, like and back, and then flights there and back, trains, food, like everything. That's not crazy expensive. What I will say that helped us a lot was not paying rent here while we were gone. So we subleased our apartment. So
sorry, Brooker's Place, if you're watching this.
So yeah, if that helped a lot because we didn't have to worry about paying rent, even though our like lease is for a year. We didn't pay. Us two didn't pay rent. You are making a mess. We didn't pay rent.
My car, my rules.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, so that helped a lot. We had a subleaser. She paid the rent for the months that we're gone. Actually, this whole month too. We won't be going back to our apartment till like mid next month. So we'll take you guys along. But that helped so much because honestly, our Airbnbs were around the same, except towards the end, some of them got more expensive. $9,000 each. We saved for about a year, so that helped a lot. We also got a credit card. If you guys watched our very first video about this whole journey, we'll link it down below. We talk about how getting a credit card that has no interest for at least a year, and then, you know, putting like flights and accommodation on that credit card, that helped a lot because obviously it comes straight out of our bank account, and we're slowly paying that off. So, yeah. Anything else you want to add?
I feel like a lot of people, like friends and relatives, ask us like, how did you do it? Like, how did you just like cut 5 months out of your life, leave the country, stop your jobs, and just like go do this thing that you guys are doing? I feel like that's the biggest question. And I feel like over the multiple times that we've kind of explained to our friends and stuff, the main answer is that it was like both of us like working together for that one like goal and like trip. Like definitely a one person trip with this is definitely super expensive, really hard. We got, as she said, really lucky that we were able to sublease our apartment, which that was like, I feel like our main worry when we were setting this all up. We were like, okay, what are we gonna do with our apartment? Because we left in June, which was when our lease ended, and we were like, we can either end the lease and look for a whole new place when we come back, or hopefully find somebody that takes over our payments for, let's say, 6 months while we're gone. That way we don't have to apply and do all the credit checks and all the apartment hunting things that come with it. So luckily we got this girl that had an internship at Disneyland, which is super close to where we live, for like 6 months. So it was literally like coin in the piggy bank. Perfect. Yeah, so
I would like to say we manifested that.
Yeah, for real. And just, I mean, saving, I feel like we're not big spenders. So over like the year and a half that we were working at our jobs, like we saved a pretty good amount of money. Like we saved enough money for the $9,000 each and a good amount of extra for like paying rent for a couple of months, our bills here and there, Christmas
while we
gifts,
get back on our feet,
while we look for other jobs and start all over.
And also, when we say like, oh, we saved for a year, it's not like we weren't going out and like we were just living at home, like, you know, being super like stingy and stuff. Like we still went out. We just honestly are not big spenders on like random stuff, going out and like buying drinks and going out to eat all the time. We eat at home a lot. That also helped a lot when we were traveling. So that's our $9,000. Actually, when I went back in our credit card and saw every month like how much we spent, our biggest category was always like food and drink, but like specifically going out. So even though we didn't do it as much, we could have done less and it would have been cheaper. But you have to kind of sacrifice that, I
feel
guess.
like we were almost at a limit though of like, if we were to eat a lot less out, it would have been like you're almost not even enjoying being at the country. I think we did like a good balance in between of cooking at home and going out to try famous places, trying famous dishes. Like, you know, get the food experience of every city that you're going to. I think we did pretty good with that. But I can definitely see how if you don't like to cook and you try on this trip,
Yeah.
or if you're not like comfortable in the kitchen, that 9,000 per person is gonna go way up.
So that's kind of the tip of the iceberg with the whole cost thing. We told you guys the amount, literally point blank, how much it is. So that's kind of that. Next question is, was there anything that you missed from the US that Europe didn't have? For me, yes. Probably like 2 months in, I was like, I need to go to Target. Like, I wish I could go to Target, just because, especially in Europe, you have to go to the pharmacy. You can only go to the grocery store and they have like just groceries. Sure, they have some other aisles, but it's not compared to Target. No, that was one thing I really, really missed. And then of course, like, friends, family, that's a given, and good Mexican food. That was pretty hard to come by.
We found a decent place in Madrid with the tacos. That wasn't that bad, but it was also like paired with that super horrible experience that Karen had. I think the things that I miss, probably one, reliable Wi-Fi. I think we struggled with Wi-Fi a little bit at a couple of Airbnbs, so much that one of our Airbnb hosts actually had to call like a technician and install a whole new router, because a lot of the places that we were staying at almost did like a double Airbnb combo where like it was an Airbnb across the hall or something, so they had 2 rooms or something like that, and they only had like one router for both places, and two out of the times that we had struggles with Wi-Fi, the router was in the other room, so I feel like that made it really hard to have a reliable connectivity to our, like, me, that I wanted to play my PlayStation, I wanted to watch Netflix, I wanted to like be on my phone.
But yeah, we have to like edit.
Yeah, especially when we had to upload videos. In our last Airbnb in London, our phones and like computer and stuff wasn't much of an issue with like streaming and watching videos, but for uploading it was super slow, so much that we had to like edit the video and start uploading it at least 24 hours before we were gonna like post, because it took that long to upload.
Overnight.
Yeah, like I would start uploading it overnight, like let's say 11 p.m. before we went to bed, we were done editing, and we would literally wake up the next day, like let's say 8, and it was still like 60% complete, you know, and that sucked. And anytime that something was uploading and it wasn't like while we were asleep and you wanted to use your phone, the Wi-Fi was super, super slow while that was uploading. So missing reliable Wi-Fi was big. I think now that I'm back and I can kind of sit back on it, I feel like I missed my car. I felt like that would have made it really easy to like explore a little more. I mean, it makes sense because we stayed at pretty big cities, and even in the US, when you're at big cities, you don't really use cars. Like let's say New York, or I guess that's the only big city I've been in here.
Like I feel like LA, you have to rent a car.
Yeah, in LA you do basically have to rent a car. But I feel like a car would have been nice.
Okay.
I think so.
What?
All done with my Taco Bell. Ready for question number 5?
What was the most expensive city?
I think,
This one was pretty clear.
yeah, Airbnb wise, London was by far the most expensive, but I feel like day-to-day grocery shopping, I feel like Belgium was pretty pricey, wasn't it? I think in Belgium our Airbnb was located in like a super like central spot area. Most of our Airbnbs were very central, but the grocery store that we like picked to go to more frequently was kind of pricey.
Yeah, until we started going to Aldi.
Yeah.
Then it was cheaper.
Aldi was super cheap, but I think that was probably the one that had the most pricey like day to day. But yeah.
Maybe, because I was gonna think like overall, I still think London, but honestly, like most of the museums were free.
Yeah.
So that helps a lot when you want to go like sightseeing and stuff. Public transportation, like the underground or whatever, the metro, the tube, excuse me, that was really cheap too, like less than $2.
Yeah, that was super nice.
Just accommodation. Obviously, that's always like the biggest thing too. So I think I'm gonna say London just because it was, compared to Belgium, like twice the price.
Yeah.
So
definitely the most expensive. Well, how much was that Airbnb? I think it was like 2,300 maybe for that Airbnb for a whole month, which is kind of like the standard rent for like a basic apartment, I would imagine. At least it is for like here in California, where we kind of live in Garden Grove, for like a 1-bedroom apartment, the rent is about that much. So that was the most pricey one. But I mean, it was amazing. We really liked it. So no complaints there. It was a really good location. Just that it was the most expensive. Question number 6, I think.
was it stressful having to go from one country to the other?
Honestly, not really. I feel like the most stress that we had was getting the weight in our checked bags to be below the 23 kilograms that they allow. feel like that was our biggest stress factor. Like we were pretty good, like getting transport to the airports. We basically
I
Ubered
think
all the
everywhere
time.
took Uber that we
We
went.
Ubered to the airport just because we didn't want to deal with like public transportation and like
Wow.
carrying our 4 big old bags. But yeah, our biggest stress was definitely staying under 23 kilograms. Like going to the airport and like looking for somewhere to weigh our bags because you don't want to go to the check bag and be like, hey, you're over by a kilogram.
Which never happened to us.
Yeah, we got really lucky.
We were good. We were on it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was like our biggest worry, and it made it work.
Yeah.
And they never really checked the weight of our carry-ons, and they were like stuffed. So that was good for a travel hack if you guys are traveling out there. They never really check, or my backpack. So you have a carry-on and a personal item that you take with you on the plane.
Stuff it.
And I had my whole PlayStation 5 in there with like the controllers, my headset, a couple little things. It was heavy. Like I remember every day after we would travel and I had to carry that on my back when we would get to the Airbnb for the night, I would be so tired and my feet would be like sore just because it was such a heavy bag. Probably like 30 pounds in there for all day walking around.
Yeah. So in that sense, it wasn't hard. I was gonna say too, like logistically, like passport, visa, anything like that, super easy too. We didn't have to get a visa for any place that we went to. Once you're in the Schengen zone, it's a whole long story, but like just do your research and we knew where to stay, how long we could stay, and everything worked out fine.
Yeah. We actually overstayed our stay in the area that we could stay in Europe before we went to London. The max amount of time that you're supposed to stay there is 3 months. And I think we stayed over like 3 months in a day or two.
But they didn't say anything.
Yeah, they were like, stamped us and let us out.
And we left from Madrid, and I had seen an article somewhere on the internet that literally said, like, depends on where you leave, they might, like, make a big deal out of it. And specifically, they were like, oh, but I left from Madrid, like, 2 weeks, or, like, they overstayed a while, like, longer than us. And they didn't say anything. And that was what happened. Like, and we didn't have any issues. So. Okay.
Next question.
We're going to wrap this up.
Next and last question. Let us know also if you guys have more questions in the comments about our travels and stuff. And we'll either reply to the comments or we'll make another video if we get a lot of questions.
Yeah. Okay, we didn't get any there.
But I mean, super classic though, that our first video back in America is literally a drive-through fast food mukbang. It's like, welcome home.
This one's kind of funny. It said, like, are you excited to go back to the U.S.?
I was really excited to come back, honestly. Like, I didn't want to leave where we were because we were, like, living the dream. But I was really excited. I wasn't, like, sad to leave. I wasn't, like, man, like, what am I going to do now? Or, like, it's not going to be as amazing. I had, like, a good vision or a good feeling of what was going to come once we came back. And I still do. Like, now we're going to basically, it's almost like we just graduated from college. And it's like, we got to look for jobs again, save money again, and, like, think of a new project or something that we want to do.
Likewise, is there anything you'll miss from, like, Europe?
I'm going to miss, like, the freedom of every day of, like, not having really any worries. You're just like, oh, tomorrow I'm going to be here. And then thinking, like, oh, my God, in 3 weeks, I'm going to still be here and, like, just exploring, eating, resting, relaxing. Like,
But that's it? From, like,
so.
Europe itself? That's not really Europe.
Yeah, that's what I'll miss.
I'm gonna miss walkable cities, public transportation. That was really, really nice. Although now that, like I mentioned, I feel kind of car sick that we left the cars a long time, but it was just so nice having, like, a train or whatever to get on. And then, yeah, I was excited to come back too. Like, we had plenty of time and, like, it was time. But yeah, it was fun. And yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, if you guys subscribed to us while we were traveling and you guys were like, oh, let's see what these two people are about, we hope you guys stay and keep watching what we do. We'll keep uploading videos. We'll show you guys our life here in California. We'll show you guys when we go back to our apartment and we have to, like, fill it back up with stuff. When we get new jobs, we'll show you that.
And there's still, like, more travel. We already have a trip planned too. We're not going to talk about it, but, like, if you came for the travel, also stay, because even before the trip, we had a lot of travel videos.
Like, I think that's one of the things that we really like to do together is just travel to places. But yeah, definitely, I feel like the videos might not be as travel-y and as consistently travel-y as they were for the past 5 months, obviously, because we're not going to be going to places every single week. But we hopefully you guys enjoyed those 5 months. We really did. And if you're new to the channel, go back to our videos and you can watch our little playlist and just explore the cities with us as we went through those 5 months. It's gonna be nice when we go back. Like right now, I don't really want to watch them just because we literally just went through all that. But in about a year, imagine when we go back to our channel, we're like, oh my god, remember when we landed in Belgium and we watched a video, when we went to the Titanic Museum, when we went to that restaurant in Mexico City, when we had that trip. That's gonna be so cool. I'm excited. But anyways, guys, Karen's gonna finish off her nachos. We'll see you guys on our next video. We hope you guys enjoyed this one. Got some good info or inspo, or just if you were curious about how we did it, hopefully we answered all your questions. We'll see you guys next time. Like and subscribe. Peace.